world see our classes as they go along. So you can think about it in business ideas, how that would work out. But there's a link between Zoom and YouTube that appears. Okay, so I've done that. So I'm ready to go. And you see that I let you know, Zoom allows you to know that you are recording, so that's a possibility. Okay. What we do in the very beginning is we take any questions, comments anyone has. Anyone have any issues, comments that we have? Otherwise, who was not here last class? Anyone raise your hand. So Catherine was, okay. And then Emmeline. Okay, so one of the things, if I look at Catherine, right, and Juan, what would you tell Catherine? She's new to the class. What does she need to change in her name? Juan.
Her last name.
Right. So we always welcome Catherine. We always are putting in our first name, our last name here. We're formal here, and also it's for attendance. It's also we're recording. So everybody, if anyone sees here, oh, I want to hire this person, they have some connections here. So you want to rename it as well. And Catherine, you want to introduce yourself, your name, what's your major?
Yeah, sure. My name is Catherine Liscano, and my major is marketing and global business.
Marketing and global business. Okay. And where are you
Yes.
from, Catherine?
I am from Miami. I'm a local.
Okay, you're a local. There's other people local here in the class as well. So welcome, and hopefully you can catch up and you can contact, and then Anastasia will I'll have her introduce herself in a moment, and you can reach out to her as well, and she'll put her email how you can get it in. And Ameline, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Emmeline Mason. I'm from Destin, Florida. I am business undecided right now.
Okay. A lot of undecideds, a lot of times that's good because you can be open to a lot of different ways. Okay. All right, we have that. And Anastasia, you want to introduce yourself and let everyone know? Do you have any comments before we begin?
Yeah, I'd love to. So I know if you have already heard me introduce myself, but for those who haven't, my name is Anastasia. I am your TA for this class. I am the main person. I am your first point of contact. I'm responsible for your grades. Any questions you might have, come to me. For absences, email me. And if you're going to be absent ahead of time, or if you're sick or anything, all good. Just reach out to me and provide any sort of proof that the reason for your absence. That's the only thing I request. And besides that, feel free to reach out to me at any time. I'll leave my phone number and email in our chat, and just say, this is my name, I'm in your class, section J, and any question goes, I'll respond to you as soon as I can. And feel free to reach out to me at any point. I was in your shoes a year ago, and I remember like the details being a student and the assignments and everything. So like, don't be scared to reach out. Any questions, I'm here for you.
Right, perfect. Who else was not here? And Petra?
Yes.
Yeah. Everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's dig in. So let me do the first thing. Let me share my screen. And you tell me if you see it. Okay.
Yes, we can see it.
Perfect. So if I look at this one, what are we looking at right now? What do you see on the screen, Juan?
The YouTube stream.
We see the YouTube live. You remember from Zoom, Zoom has a connection. You can think about it as an application program interface that within Zoom, it connects to YouTube. And what is the issue? If I count here, what is the issue between live, what you see on Zoom versus what you see on YouTube? One, You're on a roll.
The delay there is.
There's a delay. Now, when we're talking heads, when I'm doing a class, it really doesn't matter that there maybe is a 30-second delay, there's a 15-second delay. When would it matter is if we were doing high frequency trading and I was trading and I would want all my followers to follow my trade, would 30 seconds be a big deal? If we were blink your eyes a couple of times, and let's say we do thousands, we'd be going into trades thousands of times, and many times we'd even be using some macros, and we'd be even using AI maybe to do our trade. The computer would be trading. It would matter that there's a delay. But there's not a delay here. And as you can see, we can see everybody's name here. That's why we want to have first names and last names. You see that we're using the university's version. So what do we see on the corner here? Catherine, do you see that? What is in the corner here of the YouTube? You see that U here? It's represented. And Catherine, you need to then rename. You know how to rename yourself?
Yes,
Yeah,
Anastasia
so you
helped me out
want
with
to
that.
do rename so you don't just with Catherine L.
Yes, I have
because
to
you have
do
your
it
home.
when the meeting is over. Yes.
No, just do it now. You can go ahead and even do
She
it now
can't.
rather.
Zoom
Yeah.
has a new setting that you can't be in a meeting to change your name, so she has to do it after our class.
Oh, okay, fine, perfect,
Yeah,
thank
sorry
you.
about
New
that.
version, okay, so you know
Yeah.
it from the next time. Okay,
Yes,
so we
ma'am.
got that part, so I can stop sharing. Well, let me just do this. Let me go to our university here. Let's go to our courses, our sections here, and let me do this. Let me view it as a student. So we have different roles here, just so everybody sees this. We have different roles here, and you can see that in the home, right? If we go to home here, you have Lily, who's a lead teaching assistant, and you have our other notes. And then you always go, and then you see here we have quickly attendance. We take attendance sometimes in the beginning of class, middle of the class, ending of a class, it depends. And then we have our modules. And in our modules, you see in the beginning, you have the Zoom link. Let me just make sure we have the course syllabus that everybody who's joined can make sure that they know about. One of the things that's important, you see here that some things may be subject to change, others are not. The beauty here, this is me, and I go by Dr. Rush. It's just easier for people to pronounce. Office hours, the beauty of office hours is right after this class. We try to end a bit early so you can stay and ask any of your questions. We record every class, but during office hours, as soon as I switch to office hours, I shut down the recordings. So again, anything that you speak about isn't recorded. And you can see if you need to contact me, here's my email. You need to put in that you're in section J so we can respond. And what's important, we talked about it, is the schedule. You can read the syllabus on your own, but what's important here is we'll try to stick to our schedule. On September 21st, we do not have class for religious holiday. And what's important to put in your calendars, and I think, Anastasia, I think Lily tried to put in the calendar, everybody do that. On October 7th, you have an exam in person in the School of Business. And I guess that's on a Wednesday. And on the Monday of November 16th, you have another exam. You got that, Catherine? So there's 2 dates that you have to be physically with me. Otherwise, to me, I don't care where you are in the world. But in those days, you're going to be with
Got
me
it.
physically. Perfect. Okay, so we got that part. And I think we're finished with the course syllabus. And what I'd like today to make sure when people go to the modules, they can see what is due before class. We left a little time here because we have in the beginning week, we have people adding and dropping. So we leave a little time more for the first due date. Otherwise, we do it by a weekly business here. You have your readings for chapter 1, the adaptive assignment, your quizzes, and then, of course, I've asked you to register for the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and Financial Times via this library link. So you need to do that if you haven't already signed up and registered. And the additional readings that I give many times are from these publications. You can see there's one from the Wall Street Journal that I have on how AI models from OpenAI and Anthropic went rogue. And then I have another one about AI chatbots and the internet communication. So I have those available. And then among the modules, then you can see, then you have the readings. So if you click it, everybody click on your site so you know if it works. Even if you don't do the quizzes, I want to make sure that it works for everyone. You can see here that this should come up, the book, the digital book of why you should study information systems. There's some figures here. And you can see here, positions for information technology. And then you can just go to next in the readings here, and it takes you to the next session about data, information, and knowledge. What's the difference? Who cares? And you can go through the job prospects. And here they talk about information systems, that it's based on hardware, databases, software, and networks. And you get all these figures. Okay. And then the next part, if I go to modules, you can see that along that, you do an adaptive assignment and you do a quiz. I want you at least to try these out to see if they work. If they don't work, then stay after class to make sure they work. I don't want you to be stuck where this isn't working. Another thing that's important is this, and you may want to pay attention, Anastasia, as well, for the way that this in Canvas works on the Wiley course resources. I'm in the student view. You get to have the textbook here as well to see. And why I want you to go to the Wiley course textbook, you can, on your own, you can look at videos. I don't care. It's up to you. But this is good for you to have. You see where it says Student PowerPoint Chapter 1? Do you see that one? This way, if you want to, sometimes I go over the PowerPoint. It's also good for you. You have a review of all of the PowerPoints. So even though it isn't there, you can just click on it and then you can download it and look at the PowerPoints. And look for the entire chapter because they do have sectional student PowerPoint by 1.1, and then they have a lecture overview and 1.2. What I find it just easier is just download the entire chapter. But it's up to you what you decide to do, but that's up to you in your business. But I think this, I don't know, Anastasia, maybe we should put this in some way to let students, what do you think? Know that that's where the PowerPoints are.
I mean, we could launch an announcement just so people, read that and see, but I think it's not that hard to access, honestly.
Yeah, right. But
I
I'm just
feel
saying,
like
so they can see that it's there. But
I
that's where
can
the
launch
PowerPoint-
an announcement in a bit.
No, yeah, you don't even have to launch, but just to have somewhere where maybe in terms of putting that as one of the assignments of where they are
Okay.
of where the student PowerPoints are. That's all.
Okay.
Not a big deal. Okay, so we got that. And for instance, if I go to the adaptive assignment, right, I'm in the student mode, I have a different role. So they say attempts, I can be in progress as well. So I'm going to leave the student view and I have another view, right, Juan? My role is as instructor. So if I go to modules, I see a different view than you do. And if I go, this went up too far. If I go to the adaptive assignment, what will I see differently? So if I open up assignment, if you open up the assignment, you get to see your quizzes. What's the difference on my end? This is called a dashboard, and the dashboard relates to the role I have in the course. I am instructor, so what is the difference here? Juan?
You can see the process and like how people have submitted and done it.
Right. So I see I have 80 students in my two classes combined. So I see here I got 45, 55, 57, 58, 59. So I have 59 students that at least have clicked on it. I basically have others that haven't. So I want to make sure that this section, everybody that's here today, at least is not started. And I see that 12 students combined have completed it. So if I go to students, you don't have access to all the students in the class, Juan, correct?
Correct.
Correct, because you don't have any business you don't control the other students, you don't control their grades. I do. So if I go to students, right, I should then see, right, that for instance, Jackson, did you complete the assignment?
Yeah, I completed the assignment.
Yeah, so you can see already that you completed the assignment. It tells, this is basically data, right? That if I can see here that we think about data, he completed the assignment, and anybody that completed the assignment, you can see that it's in blue. But it's good that I have Caliana, that basically I have it, right? And Christiane, it's in black, and then I have others that have already, and Eliran has already, I know that he's gotten in and he's already completed it, okay? So these are, it's not a big deal, but these are what I get the idea of who has completed it. Okay? Any questions, comments? Okay. And then we have open-ended articles that I'd like you to read and pay attention when you're reading those. If some of the concepts you don't understand, is to jot them down and then research to try to make an understanding of it. And then next week we'll have a discussion about those, and then you can raise your impressions of those with me. Plus, you can ask me questions that you were not familiar with. Okay. Everybody okay with all of that? Okay. So Dylan, remind me again what's your major?
Sorry. My major is marketing.
Marketing. Okay.
Yep.
So did you get a chance to do the homework yet?
I did not,
Yeah.
but I'm all signed up on Wiley. And
Okay, perfect.
ready to go.
You're all signed up on Wiley. Okay. And Jackson, I saw that you basically did the homework. And do you remember they were talking about the title, let me just even, of information systems and information technology, IT, right? So let's talk about what in the world this means and what relevance does it have to us? Because one of the things that I want to emphasize in this class is practical and ask a lot of the times, we'll get the definitions, right? And does anybody remember when I call on you randomly, I don't want to hear, I don't know, what are you supposed to do? Anybody can let me know? Raise your hand, let me know. If I call on somebody and they don't understand, because we have some new people here, and you don't know, what are you supposed to do? Do you remember, Jackson? You're muted. He has to unmute himself. What are you supposed to do? Jackson?
Sorry, isn't that something that you can like type in the chat and then ask to somebody else?
You can, or what? Do you have access to a phone? Do you have access to a computer?
You can just look it up as well. I
You
mean,
can look it up as well before you even put in the chat. You do the, if I ask you, what does IT stand for, and you don't know, right? In this class, I encourage you to look it up. Where in other classes, they may say, I don't want you to use computers. I don't want you to use your phone. In this class, I encourage you to do that. And then later on, you can even read it to me, and then we can decide together what it means. So IT means what, Jackson? The
isn't
letter
it
IT.
isn't it information technology?
Information technology, and IS, sometimes they call it information systems. And the whole course basically is dealing with information technology, information systems. And let me just share this with you. Jackson, do you see my screen? Right?
No, I
It
can't see it.
basically say, this is
Dr. Rush, we
information-
cannot see your screen.
Why not? That's what we want to do. I want to share. That's what we want to be able to do. Why is it not working? Don't you love it? Let's see. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Anastasia. So if I look at, let's try this. Can you see this now? Jackson, can you see this? Right?
Yes, right there.
Yeah, they have these chapters here. Why should we study information system? How does IT impact organizations, the importance of information systems to society? So they talk about how does it affect an organization? Just so you know, an organization, another term for an organization is called enterprise. Sounds like a fancy word, but it's basically a large organization with many different departments is called an enterprise. So let's think about it this way, Bianca. What organization do we both know rather well? Bianca, what do you think?
An organization, like
Mhm.
like a
An
company,
organization or enterprise that we both know.
like is that like a company?
Yeah, that's an
Okay, like-
organization. An enterprise is like a company.
Okay.
What do
Apple.
we know? Apple, okay. What are we both a part of?
Miami.
Miami. Is Miami an enterprise? Yes. Does it have several departments? Does it have a school of business? Does it have a finance department, accounting department, a marketing department, a business technology department? Does it have a law school? Does it have a medical school? Does it have arts and science, communication, nursing, right? Does that sound complicated? Sure does. But you're a member of it, right? You have a different role, right? Your role is student. My role is instructor. Does anyone work for the university also? Work part-time? Raise your hand if you work part-time. Okay. Catherine, what do you do?
I teach little kids to swim for Hurricane Aquatics. I think it's like part of UM. Not sure if
It's
it's like
part of
UM.
UM. And where do you get, who pays you?
Liz, my boss.
Okay, but I mean, is it part of the university? You get payment from the university? Okay. And how do you log your hours?
There's an app. HCM to go, and then we click whenever we're here. It tells her like the location. So like that you can't just log in if you're like
Right,
at home.
okay, so it's tracking you, okay. So we all know the university, right? So if I look at the university, do you think they have an information technology department? What do you think, Bianca?
Yeah, I think they do.
And what are they in charge of? What are they responsible for?
Maybe like making sure all our technology works, like the internet,
Like
Wi-Fi.
what? Okay, so Wi-Fi. How did you log into, if you're on campus, you're using what? Whose Wi-Fi?
Like the KNet wireless.
K-net wireless. You think there has to be somebody responsible for that?
Yeah.
Okay. What else? How did you log in? In this case, Sarah, how did you log into Blackboard, to Canvas? Notice, Anastasia, I'm always saying Blackboard, right? Into Canvas. Did you have to do anything special?
Yeah, I put in my username and password,
Username and password, and then what?
and then the authenticator app.
And then the authenticator app, right? So can anybody this way get into Canvas? You have to be registered, right, as a student. And what else? You have to be registered for this class. If you're registered in another BTE with another professor, you cannot get into this class that way. Unless what? I gave you the link, right? So you need to then register. So the information technology takes care of that. What else does the information technology you think takes care of? What do you think, Eliran? What other things does the information technology department take care of? So we got already Canvas. We got already what? That when you log in, they take care of your username and password. What else do you think, Eliran? Do you have email from the university?
Yeah, email.
Email. And
Email,
what
yeah.
vendor did they use for your email?
What do you mean? Microsoft.
Microsoft or maybe Google, right? So you have that. All right.
Yeah, I use
Anybody ever use Canelink? Raise your hand if you use
Yeah,
Canelink. Right? Canelink, they have to be in charge of that. Right? Security, they have to be in charge of that. Anytime you get on the network, they have to be in charge of that. Software, right? They have to be in charge of that. If you go in any of the computer labs or using any hardware on campus, they're in charge of that. So that's information technology. Now, does anybody know? Raise your hand if you know anybody in information technology. You see, we don't got too many hands up, right? So they do, in my opinion, my humble opinion, they don't do a very good job of advertising themselves. Maybe they don't want to advertise themselves because they don't want to have work because they're supposed to be supporting us, right? So what I want you to do now, as I always do, Jackson, is you don't know, is try to find everybody do that. And you can, Jackson, you can Google it, right? Or anywhere else. Try to find University of Miami Information Technology Department. Everybody do that now. And I'll do it as well. And then we'll figure out what the heck this means and how we can use it and how it can help us. Okay? Because they're telling me all this business of why we should study it. They're telling me about informed users, right? They're going to tell me what information system is. They're going to tell me about components, hardware, software, databases, networks, and procedures. Let's make this come to life. So if I go to what? University of Miami, right? University of Miami Information Technology. I get, everybody see my screen, right? Anastasia, you see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, okay. You see University of Miami Information Technology and Systems. says welcome. And notice here, Jackson, do you see that? How can IT, information technology, help you? This is really dumb, I think, in my opinion. Does everybody know what IT is? No. So they say, how can IT help you? They should at least tell you somewhere that what is IT. But see here, it spotlights. And notice here, did you see that back here? Is IT spotlights. It says software downloads, right? So they're in charge of IT resources for researchers, wireless networks at the U. Do you see that, Bianca? It's exactly what they're doing. Collaboration and cloud storage, access and share files from any device, cloud storage solution. What does cloud storage mean? Cloud storage means that it's on another device via the internet and gives you unlimited space to securely back up your data online. So they allow me to back up. Don't get phished. Anybody know what phished is? Phished. So Bianca, have you ever seen that word?
No, I've not.
Okay, what do you think? It sounds like phishing, but what is it? Phishing is a form of fraud in which an attacker tries to learn private information, such as login credentials. The best way to combat scams is to learn what phishing looks like and how to protect yourself. What this sounds like is, have you ever got spammed? You know, like you get basically email and it looks like it's from somebody else, but they're trying to get information from you. So basically they say, learn more, and they go phishing and other scams. This is from the university. Report suspicious emails with phish alarm and cyber attacks. They're telling me iPhones, how scams work. So it's all scamming, iClouds and so forth. So guess what? The university IT department is supposed to take care of being spammed, and who loves to be spammed is universities. Universities, hackers love universities because guess what? We have a lot of computers using what? Which network do they use? They use the university's network, and they're trying to hack into the university network. And if they can get you, Bianca's, because you have a valid user name and ID and password, they want to like piggyback onto you. Or what they want to do is they want to put in malware or some kind of program on your computer. And then from your computer, they can take your computer and hack all other computers around the world. Did you know that? Why? Because we share the same network. We're logged into the university's network, and you say, oh, that's great. I got great Wi-Fi. They have to keep us safe. So you can see here under IT, you see their IT leadership team. These are a bunch of folks that none of us probably know much. And we got one for, he's the senior vice president. He looks official. He's the architect. And notice the word, Bianca. You see that enterprise? Enterprise means what? A large organization. So they give them these words that only if we understood the vocabulary would we know it. But they throw out IT, and guess what? When you learn something, you think then everybody else knows it, right? So they do a poor job where they put IT. Nobody knows what, a lot of people don't know what IT means. And then here's Mauricio. He's the Chief Information Security Officer. He's supposed to keep us safe. And you remember, did you get that authorization and you have to authenticate yourself and all this, and you have to use your phone? So we'll invite him to the class and we can figure out what kind of questions we want. So we can bring to mind here. And then there's Alan Gorky. He's in charge of academic and research, and we got a bunch of people here. But in terms of welcome, we see there's other subunits. What's this? Academic, and look at this. You see this, Sarah? What does this say? Artificial intelligence. The Office of Artificial Intelligence provides the university community with resources and tools to enhance learning, research, and innovation. They offer access to advanced tools with support and guidance. Learn more. And the Artificial Intelligence team. And it's called, look how they have their URL, ai.it.miami.edu, and learn more by visiting the site. So they supposedly have their own site. Explore our AI tools, views available AI tools. And they have a number of tools that are available. You got it? So they have a number of tools that are available. And in this case, they have this. This is what I wanted you to see. Which would be great. You see that create custom videos with Google Vids. This is new. You can create custom videos using your University of Miami Google account. Google Vids is artificial intelligence video creation, editing application built directly into Google Workspace. Google Vids allows you to transform presentation to fully animated, narrated video drafts in minutes and capture live screen demo recordings. You see that, Anastasia? So I like this, capture live screen demo recordings, and maybe we can use it also for tutorials. I don't know, right?
I think
And
that could be really good. Yeah, I agree.
And then Google Vids is available for students, faculty, and staff. Just be sure to log in with your UM account. So what I love about this is we can take advantage. Do you understand that, Bianca? We can take advantage in trying these out without having to pay, right? And then if it's really good, and then we can use it for our projects. Remember, our projects are going to be, we're all going to be AI consultants. When we're AI consultants, we have to give some services. We have to teach people, whether it's in marketing, for marketing agencies or small businesses or real estate or wealth management, right? We can do this. So I want us to learn Google Vids are automatically stored within your Google Drive. So they give us a Google Drive to review your storage capacity. Visit Google Drive storage page. Ensure you're logged in with your UM account. Please note that Google Vids AI features such as AI voice over may require additional license. If you require additional AI features, please contact for pricing and access. We want to do it free. We don't know if it doesn't work for free. I don't want to start paying. How-to guide, so they give us quick links. You see that, Anastasia? This is really nice. Infographic, good resources. Follow step-by-step video tutorial. This is the infographic. Create custom videos with Google Vid. Prepare your presentation. Start in PowerPoint. Import into Google Vids. Review and configure. Customize your video. Add narration and timing. Enhance video. Finalize and export. Speaker notes. AI. Contact need help. They're even giving us a helpline. I don't know if they'll help us, but that's great. And Google Get Started, look at this. Plan your video, you can easily upload. So what I'd like, Bianca, is to invite this team too to our class. Wouldn't that be great? Instead of, let's use what we got in the enterprise. What are they doing in AI, and how can we can help? And then we can ask them intelligent questions before they come. We can really grill them, that they just don't give us a dog and pony show, Bianca. We can get real facts from them, right? Everybody can give you dog and pony, right? So this is great. So you can see here of welcome. So they have a specialized version of the IT Miami create videos, right? Artificial tools, get connected, online learning. Did you know they had online learning? That you can get this free. LinkedIn Learning, you have to pay for that. Otherwise, you get this free as being miami.edu. So we can even look at that, Anastasia. If there's certain things that we want to learn more in detail, we can get that free. What is this? Number of opportunities, inspire and grow. But this may be of use to us. And look at this, University Learning Management System. Thousands of online. This is development course certifications videos. Right? Take advantage that we're here. And then they have IT welcome. Notice what it is. About your University of Miami IDs, you use your login ID, your Kane ID. Look at this, Bianca. Remember that multi-factor authentication? They're in charge of that. If you have a Apple iOS, or you have Android, manage your account. You see this, Eliran? Email at the U to log into your University Miami email. Visit email.miami.edu that says current students get, what is this symbol? This looks like Google, Gmail. You see that, Eliran? And faculty have Outlook. So they basically have the students use Google, and notice email solution for students non-medical, and Outlook they have for the university faculty and medical students in MD programs. And notice what they're involved in: wireless networks. Do you see? Students Kane Net Wireless, Miami Wireless, faculty Secure Canes. They're in charge of this. VPN, virtual private networks, if you want more security, help and support. Students click below. Coral Gables, UHealth has a separate one. And tech support for applicants. And notice here, visit your IT. They throw out IT everywhere, right? Students access technology tools, software you need to succeed, AI tools, faculty have different resources. Some of it's shared, some of it is not. Staff. So who knew? But it makes sense now. Enterprise organization. And this is an organization we all know, right, Sarah? This is an organization we know, and it brings to life when they start talking about all this jargon that we can really relate. We need a group of people that can manage everything involved with the information technology. And it's expanded just recently, Anastasia, to what? Artificial intelligence. Just a couple of years ago, they hired a new guy that's his role, and he has a team. And they're struggling too, the university. Why? Why do you think the university is struggling with AI? Andrew, why do you think the university would be struggling with AI? What are they? What is it? Why not just jump in full force?
Because of like cheating.
Security, right? You remember, anybody that has started reading the articles, right, is the idea that we're now more susceptible because of AI. If we create all these agents, who knows? Everybody's creating these AI agents. Who knows who's going to attack us? Plus the integrity. One of the things that we're going to be doing, where are our exams? Basically, if I think about it. Andrew, where are our exams going to be held in my class?
In the business school.
Why do you think I do that?
To like prevent cheating, like online.
So what did I say? I never can prevent all cheating, right? But it's difficult for me if we have the exams basically on Zoom, right? So I say that maybe physically, if you're there, and we have proctors, Anastasia and others, we have proctors there. And what I require on the exams themselves, Andrew, is that it's closed notes, no cell phone, no AI. It's just what you know. And I have more of a control. Later on, we got to figure it out. But those are areas. But does the university want to be with AI? Of course they do. Because your jobs, right, are going to be needing that. So they're going to have to teach you, but they're reluctant. And do you think that everyone even knows about it? They have to even train their own faculty, their own staff about it, plus all their IT people. So it's a difficult, and companies now, everybody is in the beginning stage. There's never been a part where everybody is like knows everything about it. And things change so quickly. So that's the area that we talk about. So let me just share a couple of things with you that once you know what IT is, right? Our focus, look at this, is to deliver highly reliable, infinitely scalable. So the question is, they put all these words, Andrew, here, thinking that everybody knows what they're talking about. Highly reliable means that I can count on it, right? Andrew, what does infinitely scalable mean? Does that have any meaning to you, Andrew? What do you think that means?
I can consistently keep growing.
Growing, right? Because once they have more software, once they start having AI, more applications, they need to grow, right? You're going to need what? More memory in your computer. You're going to need what? More storage capabilities. You're going to have more powerful processors. That's what meaning infinitely scalable and differentiated IT services. I don't even know. Doesn't that sound a little bit like AI wrote it, right? I'm not even sure. The vision of the University of Miami Information Technology System. This is the first time, at least I see what the acronym means, is to be the best information technology organization in higher education and healthcare, recognized for strategic leadership, innovation, collaborative partnership, and achieving blah, blah, blah. Doesn't it sound like blah, blah, blah? But anyways, but here are the quick links. What are they in charge of? Multi-factor email, wireless networks, help and support. How do I get into the universities system? CaneLink, the system to do payroll, all of that they're in charge of. Human resources, accounting, financial aid, the health center. Andrew, you ever been to the health center?
I have not.
Right. Do you know they have a health center here on campus? They
Yeah.
store data. Do you think I should I should know about your health information? Of course not. Again, they have to keep it secure. People want to gain access to that so they can start billing. You see here how they have it: hardware, software, network and voice, training, web, all of this. So if I go back to my slides, look at this: hardware, software, database, network, procedures, and people make up IT components. So what's an example of hardware? In this case, Sarah, would be basically your computer, your phone, right? That's going to be the hardware. They're in charge. Basically, if I work for the university, I have a laptop here. They have purchased that laptop for me. But what is it that I need extra security? They put, by me accepting the hardware, because I'm an employee, I'm a faculty member, I have to allow them to put in extra security software on my computer, on their computer. So they have to keep track. Sometimes the security officer will call me and they will stop me. They will not let me get onto the university's network because they say I have something suspicious that I've downloaded. Software. What are examples of software? You see my PowerPoint? That's software. Did you see that we use Zoom, Sarah? That's software. You see that we used Canvas? That's software. That's what they're related. Database. So Sarah, when we think about database, what does it mean? It's a group of basically records that belong. So are there student databases? There faculty databases? You think there's information about you in the university? Of course. Your name, your address, your date of birth, what major you are, what school you belong to, right? Your financial aid, if anything, all of that they store in a database. And what do they have to do? They have to make it secure. They have to make sure that it's reliable. The network. What's the network here? The UM wireless, right? Or that's the network. What are the procedures? Is there a certain thing on how did you get your email address? What did you have to do, Sarah?
I think when I got accepted, they like made me set it up.
Right. That's the procedures. Right? So all those procedures of how you got your email, right? How you got your Kane ID and procedures. And the people are the users. I'm a user, you're a user. The people, you saw those lists of people that work in IT. They're the people. So those are components. What they're saying, IT components. Doesn't it make more sense now, Sarah, that we can relate it to an organization, to an enterprise that we know? When you read this, it's just like, God, I want to go to sleep. You know what I mean? You're going to snore on it, right? But the idea is every time you're reading it, how does this relate? And then when you look at this figure, this is IT inside your organization, right? And what do they have? The IT components, we talked about it, the personnel, their services, how they're going to transact. And guess what? They have their enterprise. What's another name for an enterprise? An organization. What resources? And then they have to plan. What do they have to plan for? The university has to plan a lot of things. They have to plan what's going to be. You think they just announce how many students they have? They have to plan how many students they're going to accept, right? They have to plan, for instance, who they're going to accept. They have to plan recruiting students, right? They have to plan how much they're going to charge. They have to plan how much things are going to cost. They have services. Do you think it costs a couple dollars to maintain just the premises of that university? Where are you from, Sarah?
From Miami.
Miami. You see how pretty the campus is?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You think it costs money to just the upkeep of the gardens, right? It looks like a country club, doesn't it? You know, a lot of people want this. So all of the maintenance of all those buildings, did you see they're building new dorms?
Yeah.
On campus, you think that costs, that capital expense? They have to basically think about development. How are they going to raise that? That's all in the planning. So what they're going to do is each department, do you know what's happening in the business school among every department? Which departments have more students? Then I have to basically get more faculty to teach. Which departments have less students? All of that needs planning. And that's where they have these business intelligence systems for the university to think of how are they going to even think about each department. And you can think about it, it's financial aid, right? We have a marketing department, we have production, we have human resources. All of this is supported by information systems technology. And you can see here, there's a vast amounts, right, that you can see in this for vast amounts. So you can see that, let me just put it at this point. This will be the last one. Let's do it from the current slide. You can see here that they have the organization. In our case, we're going to think about the University of Miami. So whenever we're reading any of these chapters, what I want to do is relate it to us. So we have our university. We have to worry about it. Our customers could be our students, right? Our business to business could be, we have suppliers, we have the bookstore, we have you ever been on campus where they have all these places to eat, Sarah? A lot of these, the university doesn't own this, but what do? They basically make agreements for other companies to come in and give us food, right? All of that is business to business. And do you see this, Sarah, that looks like a cloud? That basically, whenever you hear like cloud services, should I record to the cloud? All that means is it's an internet connection. When anybody says, I want to store to the cloud, it means I need a browser to gain access to store something. So basically, Gmail is a cloud service. Why? I need internet to gain access to it, right? In order to get Zoom, Zoom is a cloud service. If you don't have internet, you can't get into the class. That's a cloud service. So you can see here that it functions, right, among multiple organizations. So you can see how the university really has to be careful, because guess what? Do they have credit card information? Do they store credit cards? You ever pass credit cards in those restaurants or anything else? You do. Guess what? Somebody can gain access, and there's something called ransomware. Have you ever heard of ransom, Sarah? When somebody gets kidnapped, they want money in return. Have you ever heard of that? Ransom. I want some ransom.
Yeah.
They have something called ransomware, which is software where basically, and this happens at this university and other universities, that they have hackers that go in, and let's say they go into the hospital, and then they basically capture the servers of the hospital. So guess what? If one of your family members had to go and get a surgery tomorrow, and they had ransomware, they basically couldn't give you surgery because they don't have your name and they don't know what surgery you're supposed to do, because everything's digital. So this is why the university and every organization has to have a substantial IT body, and they may outsource a lot of this. They may, for instance, security, they have a small team, but they have other companies that take care of their security as well. But they have to hire the right people, and they have to know what's happening. So that's why information systems, and now when AI is coming in, AI can now basically hack these systems a lot quicker than any hacker, any person can. All you have to do is give it prompts and say, hey, I want to hack into this system. So these are areas in which this happens. So what do you think, Sarah? Does that help?
Yeah.
So you can see that understanding, because if you just read the text, it looks like, what does this have to do with me? I have no idea what's happening. But if we instead of taking Amazon or Apple, I don't work for Apple. Do you work for Apple, Sarah? No, we use Apple, but we really don't know the ins and outs. But you really have a good idea of what it is to be a student. You agree with me? And you know what services you need, like your email account, getting in, right, to your systems, getting into your classes. You know what that's like. Questions, comments. So we'll do more of this, but now you know what the system is, how we're doing this. So Anastasia, can you be so kind and take attendance for us? And we'll end class, and I'll stay. I'll definitely shut down my recordings. And I'll shut down 2 recordings, right? One recording is with, I'm going to stop, and what else? And I have my YouTube too, right? Andrew, I have my YouTube that I want to stop as well. So stay with me, and anyone that wants to